Hello again. Welcome back to Reese's Attic. Well, in keeping with my my goals even before the new year came around is my desire to learn how to color and even learning to watercolor paint. And it's not an easy process. I'm gonna have to be honest with you. There are times when I come in here and sit down and I know it's the voice of the enemy, and you just don't have it. It's not going to ever look like you want it to look like. Go find you something else to do. But you know what? Even when it doesn't come out the way I want it to, there's still a little bit of stuff. I like this part or I like that part, and I keep believing that eventually I'll get better. And so what I've been doing today a little bit of is I sprayed this with some glimmer spray, Tattered Angels glimmer spray. This is just pearl essence, and sprayed it all over. And then I Googled toucans and orchids, because this has orchids in it. So I just Googled and got Google images for orchids and toucans. And oh my gosh, there's so many toucans, so many different ways to color them. Now, I was pretty pleased with everything until I started doing the top part of the bill. And that has not come out the way I like it. But one of the things I do like this part of the bill, and I love how I did that part of the bill. So that actually came out pretty decent. Okay, a lot of times, because I don't have a bunch of Copics, I'm also in the process of trying to purchase the Blick Studio alcohol markers. And those can be found at dickblick.com. Bailey J here on YouTube, she's done a review of them. She indicated that she really liked them. I like the fact that not only are they a type of Copic marker, they've got the brush tip, they got a chisel tip, then they have a barrel that won't slide around if you're a professional and you've got one of those slanting, it won't roll off. It's very professional. They have remastered and reissued. They had them previously and they weren't well received, so they have really stepped it up, and now they are a little bit more professional acting, and you can also purchase refills for them. So that was one of the main things that I decided to start collecting these. But one of the things that I learned in doing Copics and having some gray shades is that all the time you might not have the correct color to create shadow and depth. But if you have a gray, you can create shadow and depth. Here you see I just used, I think I used the Canary Yellow from Blick Studios. I used the Canary Yellow, and I colored this in, and then I took this gray saturation is called Warm Gray 20%, and I also have Warm Gray 40%, but you can see slightly where there is a wee bit of a shadow. And I do think I'm going to get out my 40%, and I'm going to go over it. Okay, here's my warm gray 40% with Blick Studios. And I'm just going to go very, okay. Now, it does look a wee bit dark there, but that's okay. It may lighten up a little. So what I'm doing there is I'm just getting a little bit of a shadow underneath where his bill would cast a shadow on his body. This leaf will cast a shadow on these yellow feathers on his chest too. And underneath the very edge of his chest, because it's sticking out there, so the underside of that bulge would have some shadow on it as well. One of the things that I've started doing is thinking about where does the light source come from. So my light source is coming from above. It would be like from this angle, coming down, straight down, not from a side, not from the bottom, but straight down, if I were holding him up like this. Okay. So I've put a little bit of shadow there, and now that it's dried, I'm actually liking it. But you'll also see where in the printing and the creation of this coloring book, they also put in some little lines that create shadow too. So I already did it one time, but I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to just, where they've created a little bit of depth and shadow, I'm going to go in behind them. Now, if I had a lot of different shades of yellow, I hope that was in screen. It may have not been, I'm sorry. If I had a bunch of different shades of yellow, I probably would not use that. But I am finding that I actually like it. That I like, instead of, as Copic likes for you to do, use 3 colors to create the depth and the shadow. You can actually create a shadow with a gray. So I have 20% here and 40%. I've just put in another order with them. I think I got a 80 or a 90%. I just want to, I may not use those, but at least I want to see if I like them. Okay. Those were warm grays. These are cool grays. I've got the same thing, a cool gray 20 and 40. Now, cool gray, as far as I understand it, has blue undertones. Warm gray has brown undertones. So that's the difference. The warm gray I chose for this because it's yellow. Yellow is a warm color, so I chose the warm gray to go under it. Now let's see if I can do the warm gray for this little toucan. If you go and Google images for toucans, you will see an amazing array of colors and patterns. And you don't even, you can just make up some. You know, you don't have to go by something that's real. You can make up your own toucan. Who knows? There might be one in the world somewhere that does look like what you create, because there are so many. It was quite amazing. Okay, now there's with the 40%, and I think I'm going to come out just a little bit more with his bill line, because see, his bill is kind of reaching over his chest just a little at an angle. So I'm doing that, and his big old puffy chest, so that the sides of it will be a little bit in shadow. And I've got stuff all over my hands. I know you understand and aren't critical about it. And now here is just those little shadows that they decided to make there for some reason. I'm going in with the 20% warm gray. And you know what I'm going to do? That looks real prominent. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go back over it with the canary yellow. Because that, I don't know, that's just not looking good to me. So one of the things that I would like to ask y'all about in these last few minutes here, blending. I haven't got that down very good. So any of you ladies, if you have videos or tips on blending, if you would direct me to those, cause see how this just, it doesn't, I didn't get it to blend smoothly. I feel like this bottom part I blended real smoothly. It transitions from green into blue, and then the very end, these noses and the green and the yellow come to a blue, come to an abrupt stop, because that's the way it is in all the pictures, in the natural ones that I saw. So if you have any directions for me to see something that you've done, I would appreciate that if you would just leave me a link to your blending procedures. And if you will, if you could do that, that would be great. As I did state to you, I put this pearlescence on here. And in my previous video, I also want to find a black. So I'll ask you too. I want to find a black that I can go in, and all of this background space, I want to make it black with glitter in it. So I'm also going to be searching online, but if you have a hint, something that you use and you like, let me know. I'm so much looking forward to getting this done. And then, if it turns out halfway decent, I am going to chop it up, and I'm going to use it to make cards with. All right. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.